listen to me, hearken to me, and they also should respond to me, and they also should have real faith in me, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ, so that they reach the final destination of success. وَهِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَىٰ نِسَائِكُمْ. Now this very lengthy ayah, it gives final rules and regulations about the fasting in Islam. Because previously in the former Muslim Ummah, there was no sehri, no eating or drinking after you said your night prayer. For example, after Isha, no eating, nothing of the sort, till the next Maghrib, when night starts again. So the fast covered the night as well as the day. Only for a little time between Maghrib and Isha you could eat and drink and nothing else. Here, this now fasting has been reduced to only the daytime, from the dawn to the sunset. So this is then there was no sexual intercourse also permitted during the fasting, because the night was also included in the fast, so there could be no sexual intercourse between the husband and the wife. So these things were there in as practices among the Jews, and the Muslims of Medina, they were seeing that the Psalm in the Jews has these additional limitations, so they thought that they are included in Islamic laws also, although there was no mention of it before in the Quran, either to the contrary or confirming those regulations. But some people thought that it is not lawful, it is not permissible to have sexual intercourse with their wives, but still they were doing it. So in a way, they were betraying themselves. They were doing khiyanah with their own selves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it first in this ayah, and then given the final rules that this is the difference between the Psalm of Islam and the Psalm of the Jews of the previous Ummah. وَهِلَّ لَكُمْ لَيْلَةَ الصِّيَامِ الرَّفَثُ إِلَىٰ نِسَائِكُمْ. It has been declared lawful for you to have sexual contact with your wives during the nights of the fasting. The fasting is for the day, not for the night. هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. They are like a covering, because just as the dress, they are like dress to you, and you are like dress to them. This dress covers our body. So actually the intimacy between the dress and the body, so that has been referred to by this simile. They are like dress to you, and you are like the dress to them. Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahunna. So this close affinity and proximity. Alim Allahu annakum kuntum takhtaruna anfusakum. It's in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you were committing khiyanah with yourselves. You were betraying yourselves. You thought that this sexual intercourse is contrary to this psalm, and still you were doing it. Only a few might have been doing it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mentions it, because with reference to that, He is now giving the final rules about this psalm in Islam. Fataba alaykum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted your tawbah. He has relented towards you. He is lenient towards you. Wa'afa ankum, and He has forgiven you. You have done a mistake, committed a mistake, you shouldn't have done this. Although you didn't know it for sure that it is haram. But you thought that it is haram, and still you are doing it. So actually you are betraying yourself. You are doing khiyana, dishonesty with your own self. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has relented towards you, and He has accepted your tawbah, and He has forgiven you. فَالْآنَ بَاشِرُوهُنَّ. Now you can have contact with them. وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. And now you try to get what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you. Now this sexual intercourse, the result is offspring, the result is taskin, لِتَسْكَنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Everything that is contained in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not gone into details. But whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you in this contact between the spouses, you can get it, you can have it. وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ فَالْآنَ بَاشَرُوهُنَّ وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. And you can keep on eating and drinking till the white thread of the morning, of the dawn, becomes evident to you from the black thread of the night. This is again, an expression for the dawn, when that whiteness appeared on the horizon. It's like a thread which is separating darkness from this thread, it is separating the horizon. When the white thread of white thread of the dawn becomes evident to you from the black thread of the night. Now when dawn has appeared, stop eating, stop drinking. Now till the sun setting, till the coming of the night, you have to complete this psalm. Now all the restrictions are there. No eating, no drinking, no sexual contact, nothing of the sort. All things prohibited. وَلَا تُبَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. An additional limitation. And that is when you are mu'takif. What is i'tikaf? To confine yourself to the limits of a masjid, an area, but not the whole of masjid, where really prayers are held. Because there are additional things, amenities, they are not included in the definition of masjid. Masjid is only the place where people really bow and prostrate and where they offer their prayers. So you restrict yourself, cut off from the other worldly, your routine activities, and now you are absolutely with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering Him, praying Him, reading Quran, doing whatever He has commanded to do. So all these things you can do. But you can't go out of these limits of the mosque, except when there is real need. If you have to respond to the call of the nature, you can go to the bathroom, the washroom, that's all. But otherwise, you cannot go out. So when you are mu'takif in the masajid, وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِد, then you can